Welcome to the DoubleACS Daily News. Some Attleboro residents are seeing an increase in the local rat population. We spoke with Mayor Heroux to learn more.
Probably between 1 and 2 months ago, I started to see an uptick in the number of complaints from residents about rats in different areas of the city. There's actually just two particular areas that have been reported to me, one over by the Olive Street Bridge and then another in South Attleboro. That's not something I had ever really heard too much of in the past, maybe just a couple times, but between basically probably 1 to 2 months ago, that's when it was really prevalent. A lot of people were complaining. Yeah, so the city health agent, Jessica Horseman, she has a network of health agents throughout the Commonwealth, and they meet on a regular basis. They talk about issues that different communities are experiencing, and this rat issue is something that's going on in communities throughout the state. They've looked at this a bit, and a couple of the reasons that they can identify why there's an increase in rats throughout the state is they were shorter and warmer winters, and that was kind of a breeding ground for more rats to proliferate. Another reason was the increase in restaurants closing down, and when you have restaurants closing down, then sometimes they don't always get cleaned properly, and that also are conditions that allow rats to proliferate. There's a third reason, and it's sometimes people will either vacate their homes and leave mattresses and other debris and junk on the sides of their homes, and that offers shelter for rats to live in. And these three conditions are things that are basically going on all over the state, but the main two reasons are the first two, which is that the shorter and warmer winters, as well as the way restaurants close down, and sometimes they didn't clean up their materials. The city health department investigates every complaint of rats, and two conditions are typically found. One is that the person who's complaining actually has conditions on their own property that are conducive for rats to continue to proliferate and grow. Other times it's an abutting business or home that will have conditions that are conducive for rats to grow and proliferate. So typically the health department will then tell the homeowner or the business, this is what the issue is. And if it's on their own property, it usually comes as a shock to the resident or the business owner that the conditions on their property are what's causing it. Other times, the health department will tell the complainant that it's a nearby business or property owner, and that's when the health department can order remediation. The health department doesn't have the legal authority to actually go on property and clean anything up on their own. So the city cannot, should not, and will not be in the business of doing remediation for rodents on private property. It would be cost prohibitive, and if we were to start doing that throughout the city, but it's also we don't even have the legal authority to do that. So the health department will do rodent remediation on city property and public property. For example, at Capron Park, we might do something there, or if there's like the Veterans Pavilion, or down in South Attleboro, or on city property like City Hall, or by the police department. Yeah, if people have a problem with rats in their neighborhood, they should contact the health department. The health department will come out and assess it, and if they find that there is in fact a rat problem, the health department will give some recommendations to the property owner who is making the complaint about ways that they can reduce rat problems on their own private property. And if there is a cause off their private property as one of the abutters, the health department can order remediation to that other property owner, whether it's a business or a homeowner.